I'm going to give it a minute. Badget, absolute pleasure for you to join me here. Let me see. There we go. Oh my gosh, Michael, thank you so much, dude. I would love to connect with you. Michael the GOAT, shout out to Michael. No, I don't know. I think I'm just going to walk through it. Tristan, I think I'm just going to talk through it. Fellas, welcome back to the CCL, the COD Casuals League, Major 5. Technically should be Major 4, but for whatever reason, I said 5. So it's Major 5. Couple things we're going to talk through today. We're going to talk through, obviously, the team's selection show. First and foremost, the teams. Also going to hit on the overarching rule set. Just want to make sure everybody's as clear as possible on the rulings that we have. So I'm going to get this off of your screen. Sorry, everyone. I know that that's the goods, but that song feels about loud as frick. All right, let's do this. All right. Can't do that, Ryan. All right, let's go ahead and get things going. Sorry, Sambo, I am rolling now. I am going to proceed. So welcome to Major 5 Selection Sunday, the day we've all been waiting for. Can you hear the baby, dude? Yeah, he's hungry or something, but his mom's with him. It's all right. All right, 1 second. Let me all right, let's do this. There we go. A little bit of Ryan. Maddie! They can hear the baby! She's got headphones in. She's not listening at all. Anyway, let's go on with the selection show. How about that? So firstly, we'll talk through the rule set. As always, all of the rules are in the master sheet, which is pinned in the Discord. As always. So we've got our map sets here. It's the same as the CDL. I think we're going to try and just match the CDL. unless we determine that one of these really sucks. Blackheart is listed on the CDL's official site, and I'm sorry, Dave Ryan's killing me. Blackheart's listed on the hardpoint set, but I'm not sure that it actually is. Oh my gosh, dude. But it's not been in the game, so. Holy crap. I don't know why it's so funny, dude. Sack Cam took me out. Alright, anyway. Typical rules, no snaking, no stair glitching, no sound EQ. Obviously, I've got the list of all the usable guns and equipment here. This is kind of loose. This is just the meta. This is what the pros use, so it's just what I've listed. I don't think anything's necessarily GA'd as far as like some other assault rifle or some other SMG. But that's what we should all probably be using anyway. And then we are allowing snipers for S&D as well as smokes, one per team. The nuance with that is in the CDL they do the 2 life rule. I just think that's too complicated for people to remember game to game. So I think we're just going to have them in, and then if it turns out to be a problem, then we will address it. At the very bottom, there's the best of 5 drafting order, veto process, whatever. So if you need access to that, there it is. But without further ado, let's get into this. So our first team that we're talking through is the New York Rats, captained by Frosty. Obviously, the Rats are the reigning champions right now. Came off a very hot season, went 11-0 on maps in the playoffs, which is very hard to do. Their whole team stepped up big time. So obviously, Frosty's a reigning champ, but there are questions that he might just be a Milner and Don merchant. Who's to say for sure? Our next team is actually a new team, new branding, the Savannah Sovereign. Pretty intense logo here. Co-captained rather by Code and Turks. Biggest talking point around them is probably that they have the 2 worst win-loss ratios as captains in this league. Obviously, plenty of time to turn things around, but far from ideal. So we'll see if their new roster here can turn the ship around and make things right. Our third team, yeah, Ryan, that's a good point. They didn't start cheating until the playoffs. Who's to say? Obviously, some allegations of a Cronus being used, some allegations of live pinging in the playoffs. So lots of potential talking points there around the Rats. Third team, is that the third team? I think so. Sambo rather. Bringing back the Tangerang Trash Pandas, old branding from Major 1 and 2, Ditch the Horseman. As is tradition, Sam pretty consistently chokes in the playoffs, looking to get that monkey off of his back this season. Next up, we have the Ohio River Otters. I don't know if it's the Ohio River Otters or the Ohio River Otters, but captained by Drew, one of the most feared captains in the CCL, but has yet to win a major. You could say his team's been costing it. You could say there's, some leadership, things there. Who's to say? But Drew's a dog. Anyone's going to be happy to be on his team. And next we have the San Francisco Spartans, captained by Brax, who is coming off of a winless major. As a participant in Brax's team last season, it was not super fun. Bringing back some old branding, trying to reset that mojo, and we'll see what his team's going to do this major. And then lastly, we have the Atlanta Slime returning under Yay Pizza 13 or Coupon Girly 02 or Kobe Basketball 81. That's a good point, Drew. LeBron didn't win for a couple years, so that's a good point. But Gavin, captain of the Atlanta Slime, he's the COD Casuals League GOAT, two-time champ, and obviously lost in the finals, got swept in the finals by the Rats, with an asterisk, of course. But yeah, we'll see if he can do it again this season. All right. Before us, we have all 6 teams, and all 6 teams have been drafted. I say drafted loosely because, truthfully, it's been hand-picked by myself and a few captains. The goal is we will scrim, ideally tomorrow night, try and get a feel for where all these teams are in relation to one another, and if we need to make changes, then we will. Very important that we try and keep the league as competitive as possible. And yeah, so without further ado, let's get right into it. Starting things off with the New York Rats, the first person joining Frosty on the New York Rats is Trans. I don't know if I can say that full word, if I'm being honest. I'm on Twitch. Sue me. Don't sue me. Very strong player. Has highs as high as anyone else in the league does. So I think he'll be thrilled to be joining Frosty, who's been a beast so far in 8s. Next, going to San Fran. Joining Brax is Gooch, Moobaloons, Gucci-Ro. Also a very solid 2. Can slay with the best of them. Milner's pissed, dude. Milner's gonna cry, dude. Oh my goodness. He's not with his boyfriend. Oh no. Yeah, Gooch going to San Fran. That's a very strong top 2. And we'll head on to the Trash Pandas. Joining Sambo is Pace. Newcomer to the league. One of the later additions. But in 8s, he was frying. I feel as though I remember him being a sub player, which could pair very well with Sam, as he is a slower AR, I would say. But yeah, strong 2 there for the Trash Pandas. And with Drew and the River Otters, we have Milner. How about that, Milner? Are you excited? How about that? All right, Milner historically only ever played with Frosty. But we've elected to split the duo up. They've got that +5 to overall chemistry whenever they're with each other. So we're going to see if that can help to make the league a little more equitable, top to bottom. And now for Yay Pizza 13 and the Atlanta Slime. Their first player is Germs. Also a newcomer. I believe he's boys with Gooch. I have not played with him yet, but I've heard he's pretty good. So it's big time. Dude, Drew needs to stop talking about balls in the chat, dude. All right, now we're going to go to the Sovereign. Also, I just thought about this, but the Sovereign and the Slime, that's a battle for the Peach State, dude. They're both based out of Georgia. Savannah, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia. How about that? Unless code meant the actual African Savannah, which would make sense regarding the lion, at least. Anyway, the Sovereign's first, or I guess third, I don't know. It's Paget. Joining Code and Turks on the Sovereign. Paget has been lighting it up ever since the playoffs last year. Very strong player in eights. He's a Black Ops guy, so it's a big game for him, I believe. So, been doing very well. I think they'll be glad to have him on the Sovereign. Going back to the Rats, we have BYOB, bring your own booyah. One of my favorite players in the league. Who's to say why? But a very solid 3, and I think he'll be thrilled to be joining the New York Rats along Trans and Frosty. Milner putting his manifesto in the chat. He's excited, Drew. He's excited. That's great. But yeah, Booyah joining the Rats. Big time. Going back to the Spartans, we have Apollo. Not gonna lie, this is a fearsome top 3 here for the Spartans, assuming that these players play to their potential. So that could be dangerous for the league, but here we are nonetheless. Very strong trio there in San Fran. Moving to the Trash Pandas, we have Jazz. Sam couldn't get it done in the playoffs, so he needed to bring the commissioner in on his team, pull some strings for him. So if the Trash Pandas win this major, don't think too hard about it. To the Otters, we have the Bear Juice, Jack, Freak Bob, coming in, I think, for his second time in the league. Very solid player last year on in a team that maybe didn't fit him well, I guess. But I think he's a very solid player, and I think Drew and Milner will work well with Jack for sure. And then the Slime have Smokey the Bear. Smokey is a grinder. He's been on a lot past couple weeks. One of those players that'll surprise you a little bit. He's a 3, so you're like, oh yeah, free kill. Wrong. Dude is gross. So a very strong 3 rounding out the Atlanta Slime there. And now we're getting to the last line here of each team. This was definitely the hardest, well, maybe not definitely, but one of the hardest pieces of putting these teams together is the 4-man. So starting with the Sovereign, Code, Turks, Paget, and Hammock. FaZe, Hammock, Kerploosh, FaZe Brady joining Code, Turks, and Paget. We will see how that team rolls. I don't know Brady's dynamic with Code and Paget, but if it's good, they could go places. Regardless, love the branding. Solid team. Next up, to finish out the Rats, we have Dirty Mike 45. We've got a brotherly connection here in New York City. Frosty's brother. Also have never played with him. Also heard that he might be a little underrated. So the Rats might have gotten a steal here. Frosty might have traded out his boyfriend for his brother to keep that chemistry alive and just keep his team playing well. Who's to say? Paget says, we are all good friends. I know that Brady has some sort of rivalry with somebody in here. Maybe he hates Brax. I mean, they're friends, but I don't know. Who's to say? Dirty Mike and the boys. Yeah, honestly, we should have changed the team name from Rats to Dirty Mike and the boys. Would have been electric. All right, moving on to San Fran to close out this power trio, the 3 Musketeers, some are saying. We have the Rising Hippo. Absolute menace. Keyboarder. Only one in the league who's allowed to keyboard. calling in skewers in 8s. He's a wild man, but should do well in San Fran, no doubt. Swagging to the Trash Pandas. Absolute massive. I don't want to say massive hog too loud because my wife is just outside the room. You know what I mean, though. Massive addition to the team. I think chemistry-wise, play style-wise, this team could be very dangerous. But obviously, I'm a little biased. Next, to finish up with the Otters, we have Skiz, Jay Skizzle. One of the guys with the most heart in the whole league. Dude loves his CDL. So you know that he's going to know some strats. He's going to know some rotations. He's probably going to have a little bit of insight into Overload, the new mode here. I think that's going to be a difference maker early on in the league. Is who knows how to play Overload well. I don't know if Skiz does, but I could see him knowing how to play Overload well. So we'll say that. And the last player, definitely not the least, but the last player to be revealed to close out Selection Sunday is Sully, NKY Prime Time. This means everything to me. I don't know what other gamer tags he might have had. Long-standing tradition for half the league to change their name every major, which is awesome. But Sully, ultimate vibes guy. I think the Slime have a vibes team with Smokey, Sully, and Gavin. Again, I don't know Germs. I'm sure he's a vibey guy too. But I know that Gavin basically only ever wants Sully on his team. So, I guess to recap, the Rats are Frosty, Trans, Booyah, Dirty Mike. The Sovereign are Code, Turks, Paget, and Hammock. The Trash Pandas are Sambo, Pace, Jazz, and Swaggin' Dragon 23. The River Otters are Drew, Milner, Jack, and Skitty. The Spartans are Brax, Gucci Row, also known as Moon Balloons, Apollo, and the Rising Hippo. And then the Slime are Gavin, Germs, Smokey, and Sully. So here are those teams all together once again. Again, the plan, the hope is that we will do scrims on Monday. Get a feel for where the teams are, how things are going. If things are terrible, we'll switch it up. If things are great, we'll keep it going. We will probably not start the actual league officially until after the new year. Unless we're feeling frisky, who knows? Who's to say? I'll show you the teams again. I just wanted to make Ryan happy for a minute. But that's the goal. That's the goal. So these are the teams. I'll update the roles in Discord. I'll even update the reacts in Discord so we can have our team logos as the reacts again. Thankfully, I won't have to do anything for the Otters, but the Trash Pandas and the Spartans, they've stayed with us. Not stayed with us, but they were in Major 1. So they're already uploaded. Yeah, obviously, if you guys have any questions or you're pissed at me for these teams, that's too bad. Don't care. Tough beans. But, yeah, I'll post this in the Discord. Make those channels and roles set up. And then let's try and figure out some scrims for tomorrow. So,